Hi everybody, I'm DJ Foster here with Grand Valley State head football coach Matt Mitchell as the Lakers prepare for their final regular season home game this Saturday night at Lubbers Stadium against Wayne State at 7 p.m. Mitch, your team's coming off a 42-23 victory at Hillsdale last week, a great victory for your team. Isaiah Grimes passed for 259 yards and a couple of scores. As a team, you ran for 287 yards and found the end zone 4 times. The last few weeks, you've really found a good balance on offense, passing, rushing.
Yeah, our offensive line's really done a good job stepping up, and we actually this week had moved Tyler Moran from tackle position out to tight end and used Eric LeBoon, and so I think again, just trying to manage the guys up front has helped us, and we're getting a real good push out of our offensive line. They're knock on wood, pretty healthy, and both of our backs are. Rattay's always been real solid, but I think Kirk Spencer's getting more and more comfortable. He's understanding where he needs to hit on some of those zone scheme runs. So, yeah, us being able to run the ball really helps Isaiah. I mean, he's better when he can sit back after play action, throw a ball down the field. That's what he's more comfortable at. And so it's important for us to continue to be able to run the ball to have success on offense.
As well as you played on offense last week, the defense probably played better. Only gave up 9 points through 3 quarters. Brad Horling was tremendous, especially he was named GVSU Defensive Player of the Week. 14 tackles, 12 of those were solo, 2 for loss. Was it a great scheme that you went into the game with, or was it great execution?
I think it was a combination of everything. Our coaches and players working well together. I thought we kind of had a good plan for what we wanted to do against Hillsdale, but ultimately our kids went out and executed. And then also, getting some of these guys back has helped too with our performance too. So there's a lot of factors that went into it, similar to, like I said, some of the stuff regarding Northwood. It was the same type of thing. We had a lot of guys chipping in. We had a lot of players on our team, offense, defense, and special teams, but especially on defense, a lot of different guys making plays. Talk about a guy like Dana Dixon, who's kind of making his first career start here, chance for Michigan State. He had the big pick in the end zone. He had a couple nice hits, and was also him and Horling were doing a good job at the safety position. Basically, we didn't give up any big plays, and that was probably the biggest key. Earlier games, giving up a lot of chunk runs. Sure. Glendenning got loose once, but other than that, we kind of kept things in front of us and really made them earn what they got.
You're now 7-2 overall, 6-2 in GLAG play. Obviously, you're in the race for the GLAG North Division Championship. Wayne State's 5-3 overall, 5-3 in GLAG play. Obviously, they made it to national championship game last year. Their losses this year to Ashland, Saginaw Valley State Fair, so 3 better teams in the league. What does Wayne State do well that you have to prepare for this?
I think the biggest thing is they don't turn the ball over. I'm really impressed by the decisions their quarterback makes. He doesn't take a ton of chances in the passing game, and then Tony Davis is their main running back. He just doesn't fumble. They've only lost 3 fumbles through 8 games, and just don't really turn the ball over. So they're very sound in what they do. Obviously, they like to try to run the ball. And a lot of stuff that they do comes off of that. And so, like I said before, we've had some games we've been able to get some turnovers, especially last week against Hillsdale. That's probably the biggest thing hitting this game. They just haven't done it, and I don't think there's going to be a ton of opportunities for that in this game. So that's going to be a challenge for our defense. We've got to try to get some stops and get off the field because they are going to try to run the ball right at us.
They have a strong defense. They rank top number 1 in the league in pass defense at about 157 yards a game. What kind of challenges is that going to present for your offense?
Well, the biggest challenge for defense, they do a ton of zone pressuring. They really bring a lot of different pressures, and it's not necessarily pressures with man coverage behind it. There's zone pressures. So it's going to, it's hard on our offensive line and on our quarterback to identify where the pressures are coming from, and there's going to be a lot more moving parts in the run game and the protections, those type of things. So I mentioned how well our offensive line has played the past couple weeks against Northwood and against Hillsdale. It's going to be a different challenge, but that's going to where we're really going to get tested. They have some athletes in the front 7 of their defense, and they really do a lot of movement with those guys, and that's going to put a huge challenge on those guys, and also on Zeke too, because there's a lot of different things he's going to have his eyes on as he's going throughout the course of the game.
Wayne State this Saturday. You're at Saginaw Valley State next Saturday. Pretty much these are playoff games, impromptu playoff games. So what will your message be to your team going into this week?
I'd not sound like a broken record, but the reason we've been winning the past couple weeks against some good opponents, especially obviously coming out the Hillsdale, we were able to run the ball. We did a better job stopping the run we had before, and then turnovers, and we haven't necessarily been great on the turnovers. We had 2 fumbles down inside the 5 last week. We've got to get that cleaned up, but those are going to be the keys to the game, and trying to set up field position with the special team. So fortunately, I think you start getting late in the season, you worry about weather. I think it's going to be a great night here based on forecasts out of Lubbers. It's going to be typical late October, early November football weather, but there's not a ton of wind, there's no precipitation, and we're looking forward to the challenge that Wayne State brings, and it should be a great game.
Grand Valley State hosts Wayne State in their regular season home finale this Saturday night at 7 o'clock here in Lubbers. Mitch, thanks for your time today. Best of luck.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching the Grand Valley Sports Network.